I was born at Cedars-Sinai Lebanon Hospital, February 3rd, 1960. And I lived in South Central for 60 to 1966. That's when my mom passed away. And then my brother and I came to live with my grandmother and grandfather here in Pasadena. And I've been here since 66 through 78 until I graduated from high school. Well, I started off at Pasadena Elementary School, then went on over to Elliott, and then went to PHS, Pasadena High School, home of the Bulldogs. Well, the first thing I accomplished was fear, being a little fish in such a big pond at PHS, because the guys were a lot bigger than I was when I first got there. I was tall and skinny, but these guys were approaching adulthood. And one of the things that I accomplished is playing JV basketball my freshman year at PHS. And I went on to play 3 years of varsity at PHS, and where I wasn't a starter my sophomore year, but I came off the bench as a sixth man, which was an accomplishment for me because we had some good players back then as well. When I was a sophomore, there was this one guy that comes to mind. He since went to live with the Lord. Now his name was Michael Charles Anderson. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he came in to play basketball with us, and he was phenomenal. But he had an unfortunate accident after the basketball season where he succumbed to a horse accident. And that there still lives with me because I can still remember Coach Terzian calling me and saying, "Dale, I have some bad news for you. Michael went to live with the Lord," and that was on a Saturday morning after we had just got through coming from a CIF basketball game, watching another team play. And that really, really, stuck with me. Wow, we won 2 in a row, my junior and senior year. That junior year was very, very special because we were ranked number 1 in the nation in one poll, and we were ranked number 2 in the nation in another poll. And we had some great players on that team. Wow, I mean, you can tell you, Barry Brooks was a 6'6" guard. He ends up going to USC. Then we had Keith Hood, 6'4" guard, weighed about 205, real muscular, and he went to Utah State. Then we had a guy on the team named Tim Wills. I'll tell you a story about Tim Wills. We played in a CIF game one time, and Tim Wills took a shot. I think he took a shot. It was the second game of the CIF. He took 2 shots, and he hit them, missed 3 in a row, and then after that, he did not miss for 4 games. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tim Wills, 6'4" forward, couldn't jump, but he could shoot the lights out. And then we had Keith Stevens playing center, 6'8", had 198 blocked shots that year. And you multiply that by 2. Now, mind you, we didn't have the 3-point play back then. We had got all our points shooting 2-pointers and free throws, and if you got fouled, that was your 3-point shot right there if you could make the free throw. And then I was a junior playing on the other side, playing forward. And that was a great team, great team. And we had about 5 guys that came off the bench that could have played and started at other schools. That's how good we were. My junior year, we beat Long Beach Poly for the CIF Championship. We played them 4 times that year. And they beat us, we beat them, they beat us, and said, "We're going to get you where it counts." Played them in the championships, and we beat Long Beach Poly in the CIF Championships in 1977. That was a special team as well because we wasn't favored to win it that year, but we knew that we had a purpose, and we had 3 guys that came back off of that junior team that tasted CIF, and we knew what it took to win another CIF title. And we had a great supporting cast on that. We had Tim Tucker at one guard. We had Victor Jackson, best point guard I've ever played with and seen. He since went to live with the Lord as well. And then you had Michael Holton at one forward. And then we had Michael Russell at the forward on the other side. And we had Chris Holden. Everybody know who Chris Holden is. Chris Holden was a wide body, but he was strong and he could rebound real well. And I was the other forward, and we just knew that we could win the CIF championship. We can just stay within ourselves. We could win another CIF championship. We were pretty good as my senior year. Verbum Day. What really ticked us off is that Channel 7 News came to interview us and watch us practice and interview Coach Terzian, and nobody gave us a chance. And so we went home and we watched the news, and what really ticked us off, Fast Freddy. He said, got through interviewing Verbum Day, and said, I'll never forget that. There you have them, the CIF champions, the Verbum Day Eagles. We said, what? We ain't played the game yet, and you gonna give them the champion? That turned us on too, because we started making phone calls. Hey, Tuck, you hear that? Yeah, man, we ain't played the game. No, we have not played the game yet, but they're calling Verbum Day the CIF champs already. A little premature, we thought. And so we just wanted to put Fast Freddy in his place then, and we beat Verbum Day. I can recall we're on a fast break. The ball went to Tuck, and then Tuck went to Victor in the middle, came down and gave it to me, and I took one dribble and I tried to go up over Lionel. Lionel blocked my shot. I went down with one hand and I just said, well, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. I grabbed the ball and I just went up as high as I can, hard as I can, to see what would happen. And with the play of the century, well, they said I was just playing basketball, but people still talk about that play. Oh, wow. I guess winning the G.O.A.T summer game, most valuable player that summer, and then winning the most valuable player, they call it the most outstanding player in the CIF finals. I was totally shocked and surprised because there was a lot of great players playing that year, and anybody could have gotten that MVP throughout the CIF playoff. And then being co-champion with a good friend of mine for the team with Chris Holden, we both got co-MVP for the year for Pasadena High School, which was a great honor as well. If I had to share it with somebody, sharing with Chris Holden was perfect. After high school, I went on to go to Arizona State University, and my career ended there. Blew my knee out, and I've had 5 knee operations. I have 2 in 5 years, and then I ended up having another operation a few years later. So I had a total of 6 operations on my right knee, where they took out my meniscus and they smoothed out my articular joint, the femur, and they drilled holes in my knee to see if new scar tissue would form, to form a new cartilage, but it never came to pass. And so I kept rehabilitating it, getting it stronger, and in practice I'll always tweak it again. So I'm just saying to myself, to the coach, I said, I don't think I'll be able to do this anymore because I've been under the knife 5 times now. I don't think I can really go through this because they told me if I tweaked it again, I wouldn't be able to play anymore. So I officially retired when I was like 21 years old at ASU, and just went into a slump, sort of say. You know, I just stopped going to school and got disqualified from school, had several jobs, and I said to myself, well, the best I was doing is $6 an hour. I said, I'm better than this. So I went back to school. Went back to school another 4 years, and I got my degree in exercise science and physical education, and I graduated from Arizona State University, where I worked as a counselor at boys' homes. I worked at the prison system for boys, and then my most accomplishment was teaching school for 17 years in the Roosevelt School District in Phoenix, Arizona. I taught social studies, I taught science, and I taught math. Well, that's a legacy that can't not be taken away from you, just like a college degree can never be taken away from you. We would have, Terzian been to the finals a few times, but he's felt falling short. But everybody said that we were the team that was going to be the first one to win it. We didn't know what they were talking about, and look what happened. 77, we won a championship. In 78, we won a championship. So Terzian got 2 in a row after being there so many times. And we just didn't know how good we were because we were just, kids playing a sport that we loved playing from the time that we were little on. Well, I guess we were never little, but the time that we were younger on up till we got to where we are now. Wow. Playing for Coach Terzian. Terzian is a mild-mannered person. He yelled very little. I've never heard Terzian spoke a swear word in all of my life, but he had those looks, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, angel eyes. If he looked at you and stared at you, you knew that you were doing something wrong, or he's going to call you over and tell you about it. Very seldom I heard him raise his voice. Playing for Coach Terzian was one of the best experience I've ever had. Matter of fact, the only experience I ever had. I really never got the chance to play with my college coach because I was injured all the time. But Terzian taught us there was more to basketball than jumping and dunking. He taught us the fundamentals. He taught us how to dribble, how to shoot, how to jump. He taught us how to be model citizens and how to carry ourselves not only on the basketball court, but at school as well. Because people looked at us and said, oh, that's Dale Cooke. Oh, there's Barry Brooks. Oh, there's Keith Hood. Oh, there's Tim Tucker. Basketball players. And they watched us. Everybody watched us. Even away from school, people were watching us. And we had to hold this image. We were Pasadena High School basketball. We were bulldog, and we had to carry ourselves accordingly. Yes, I still go to games now, and it does my heart good to see some of my teammates still working at the school. It does my heart good to see Tony Brooks. Him and his brother and I, we were best friends, and I used to see Tony Brooks when he was a little bitty boy. Imagine that. The little bitty fella that we knew is the athletic director and the head basketball coach. And to see my old teammate Tim Tucker to keep the tradition going when he was at PHS. Coach Dewey. Every coach at PHS, with the exception of Tony, is coming, has won a CIF championship. Tony's is coming. So I always tell him to be patient, it's coming. My mom and my dad, my wife and I, we take care of my mom and my dad. My dad passed away 10 months ago, and my mom is still there. She's 94. The people that know Mama, they knew her as Mama Neros, and they knew my dad as Papa Neros. But he since went to heaven now, and I just had to put that in there because without them, I wouldn't be where I am now. Taking me and my brother in after our mother passed away. So I just have to put that in there to my wife for being the best helpmate that I have. And she does a great job with my mom, and she puts up with me.